All right, today we'll look into the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau rule that's in the making and look at the impact of that on the financial organizations. I think the importance of this rule is huge because it protects the consumers. It says to the financial organizations, you need to provide an interface where consumer data can be freely shared in a secure way with other financial organizations. These financial organizations need to provide a secure digital interface, which needs to look very different for consumers as compared to partners. It needs to have the login that is very different as compared to partners. So use login based for consumers and token based for partners. Content sharing needs to be in a secure, controlled fashion. You need to know at all times which APIs are accessing which data. When you talk about the security considerations in the proposal, I generally like to talk about three things. Number one, authorization. Number two, authentication. Number three, access-based control, the three A's. In addition to that, you also have to meet the regulatory compliance, such as GLBA. Everything is based on API-based access. If you do not have a clear answer to three key questions, number one, how many APIs do you have? Number two, what is the risk that these APIs pose? Number three, what kind of attacks are going on these APIs? It is a trusted pathway, if you may, and it has direct access to your crown jewels. And financial organizations need to get their act together on this front called API security. So CFPB today is in the data collection mode. The rule has not been finalized yet. It will be finalized in Q2 of this year, 2024. And after the rule is finalized, based on the size of the organization, you have different times. If you are the largest of the largest financial organization out there, you have 6 months to go from not knowing what the rule is to implementing all of it for financial data sharing. If you are somewhat relatively smaller financial organization, you might have 1 year. Smaller organization than that might have 2 to 3 years. And if you don't have any digital interfaces and you're still a paper-based bank, you might be exempt from it. What financial organizations need to do is, when they're preparing for this CFPB rule to get finalized, they need to get a head start today. And the head start is when these digital interfaces are created, which are completely based on the APIs, they need to be able to answer this question, which is known as API protection lifecycle, and it has 6 stages. And the 6 stages are: number one, outside in, look at how many APIs do they have. Imagine a hacker trying to launch an attack on a financial organization. The first thing they do is look at what does the attack surface look like on the API front. So that's your stage number one, discovery. Number two is inventory. This is inside out. Once you have deployed some kind of a tool, look at all north-south traffic, look at all east-west traffic to understand your complete footprint on the API front. Stage number three is testing. This is pre-production APIs. While you are still coding the APIs, test the hell out of those APIs to understand what kind of data sharing is allowed. Are those all APIs looking at authentication or not? Can someone launch a BOLA attack on it or not? Is it meeting all the OWASP API security top 10 guidelines or not? The fourth phase is compliance. Now the APIs are running, they're in production. Check for OWASP API top 10. Stage number 5 is detection. Once your APIs are running, what kind of attacks are going on? And stage number 6 is prevention. Now that you know the attacks, can you stop those attacks in real time without relying on a third-party tool? So to wrap up, CFPB is great for consumers, it is good for me, it is good for you, and it is good for the industry as a whole. Now it asks for a digital interface so that there is secure data sharing and consumers get the best out of it. And APIs are the core central piece of the CFPB rule. Thank you.